Hi there, welcome to Movieclips instant reaction to the trailer for Divergent, which I believe is a sequel to The Hunger Games, and The Host, and a bunch of other movies in which plucky young women are torn between different destinies. This is Frasier, our resident expert on Divergent.
Yes.
And I'm Sam. So let's dive into it.
Let's get started.
Now, before we start, actually, you have read these.
I have. I'm on the third book right now.
Which is out, and it is a trilogy.
Yes.
We imagine they're wrapping it up, right? They're not going to keep making these. So,
no.
This is, if they release this next year, they'll be making these for the next 2 or 3 years, probably?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so how old is, what's her name? Shailene Woodley.
The character's name is Tris. She's 16.
Okay.
And she lives in a dystopian future type of world. And so we're gonna see what happens.
You start us.
Okay, I will.
All right, so it's been approved for all audiences, so we know that going into it.
That seems to be the case.
Which is a bummer, because I thought there'd be nipples in this, but... So, right off the bat, Ashley Judd, first of all, who, like, I'm incredulous at seeing in movies these days. It kind of feels like the Ashley Judd, Dennis Quaid role of, like
I love Dennis Quaid.
You bring your parents. We'll show them one of their people. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well,
but I thought she'd be busy. She's supposed to be into politics now. I'm kind of amazed she has the time to make.
Well, this could be considered a political film.
Oh my God! If this is considered a political film, we're really.
You never know. Maybe that's what sold her. Maybe that's what sold her.
It's possible. This could be keying her up for a gubernatorial run or something.
You never know.
That's terrifying.
Alright, so she's got her big exam. This is Ruins of Chicago.
Right.
This is Kate Winslet. Hopefully paying for a boat. And, alright, what's the deal? Why are these guys jumping off of the train?
Okay, they are part of the Dauntless faction, which is the brave faction. And so they are all about intensity and risk, so they jump out of trains instead of waiting for them to stop to prove their
Do you imagine that they're on the way to the test? Because wouldn't they not know who they are, or do people in this world kind of know who they are?
Yeah,
before they
you
take
start
this
out
exam?
in a faction because you're born into one.
Okay.
And you grow up into a faction. And then when you're 16, you choose to go to a different one if you want to.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I don't. It seems needlessly complicated. I've been complaining to people about the fact that the Hunger Games are 13 districts, each of which make only one thing, which seems insane. It seems like an unfair divisional labor.
It does.
In the same way, this seems like a weird way to run a society, dystopian or not.
Well, you know. Divergent, they claim that the reason why the society was so messed up was because we couldn't control our emotions. So they created factions to put us in so that us, as in it's real. But I mean, these people
You're really absorbed in these books. I am.
They're addictive.
Oh my God.
But you get put into factions so that it's the same. It's similar. Each faction does one thing. And abnegation, which is what Tris is in, she is selflessness, and Dauntless is bravery, and then there's Amity, which is peace, candor, which is honesty. And
as you know, amity means peace.
It does. That's the point. They're supposed to be
amity
literal.
Means friendship.
It will help you discover who you truly are.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay. So they're all the factions. You can see them. They're all color coded.
So they clearly are just using the cast off sets from the Hunger Games to make this movie, right?
No, Sam, they're not.
It really looks like
different.
They are.
Okay, I'm going to point out something about the trailer that is different from the book. She drinks a serum, and in the book, they are injected with serums in their neck with syringes. And so I think that's an interesting change. It's not a big change. It's not something that is really all that important. But I think that that's an interesting change. This is her in her fear landscape. This is how they tell you what faction you belong in. So they do this test, and it tells you what faction you belong in. But Tris, we find out, doesn't belong in any one faction, which makes her Divergent, the name.
Your results were inconclusive. This was supposed to tell me what to do. We're supposed to trust the
This is the worst college entrance exam ever in human history. And I went to art school, and they do put you in a box and fill it with water. So that's quite a statement.
They're always watching.
And I'm sorry, but we've seen in the advertising, we've seen a lot about their tattoos and character posters with different tattoos. I assume that's some kind of signifier?
Yeah, tattoos are what the Dauntless do. They're the ones that always have tattoos because it's considered a very risky thing. It's something you have for the rest of your life. It's very painful. It's not something that the rest of the factions do. So that's how you can tell that someone is Dauntless. Is because
they're not afraid of like Hep C.
Right.
All right.
Exactly. This is her jumping into the Dauntless compound because you have to do that to be initiated.
Welcome to Dauntless.
So,
2 stages of training. The first is physical.
There's Miles Teller.
Again,
fave guy.
The idea of Shailene Woodley, who I've loved in a couple movies now.
Okay.
But she's a very slight, tiny-looking woman.
Right.
The idea of her fighting any of these
well, that's
people
the point.
freaks me out.
That's the point because she didn't grow up in that faction. She grew up in abnegation, which is selflessness, and they're not designed to defend themselves. It's more about how another person feels and catering to them. So her choosing Dauntless is supposed to be this big deal because she comes, it's like completely 2 different parts of the spectrum. Abnegation's down here and Dauntless is down here. So she chose Dauntless because she doesn't really belong in any one, and Dauntless, I guess, seemed to be the one that scared her the most, so she went into it. So she's supposed to look, she gets more buff.
Okay.
But she's not really very, she's more tactful.
Okay.
So you'll see, Sam.
You're never gonna win, not like that.
It's good to know.
Keep tension here.
Oh my God.
There's the love story.
Is mental. Face your worst fears and conquer them.
So this proves that she's more of in her head, kind of. She's not super strong physically, but she has a really good mind. She knows what she's doing. She knows
willing
what's
to
up.
have knives thrown at her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
I wouldn't call that a defining character trait, but it is interesting.
I know what you are. It's been a long time since I could trust anyone.
See, there are the tattoos.
By the way,
This is Dauntless.
just a thought.
Oh, God.
So he's dauntless, but he does have the tattoos of multiple
Yes.
tribes on his back. Now, in the mythology of this series, being divergent, having multiple traits is a bad thing. Why would you tattoo that in big black forms on your back? That seems unwise.
It does. Well, it's all the factions, all of them. So erudite was the other one that I was forgetting, which is intelligence. They value intelligence, but it's like, I mean, he says it.
I'm selfless and intelligent.
He wants to be all of those things. He's not saying he wants to be divergent. He's just saying that he wants to be all of those things so that he isn't some horrible guy that's just dauntless or just selfless or just intelligent.
That frowned upon, though?
Yeah, but I guess as a human being, he wants to be all those things.
Let me ask you. He has these tattoos in the book.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So they're not making some
No.
unwise character choice.
No, correct.
All right.
It's a personal choice of his to want to be all those things.
Divergents threaten the system. It won't be safe until they're removed.
See, now she's strong.
I'm sorry. This should just be
good stuff.
Good freeze frame.
Yeah.
This should just be called Little Brunette Girl, You Are Special and Different, the movie. Like, in Harry Potter, in Hunger Games, all these things, there's at least some, like, there's some overlay of mythology, of some reason that they are different and therefore dangerous. And in this, it's like, what makes you different and dangerous? Well, you're different. That makes you dangerous. You know, it's not like you're the chosen one. It's like, you're simply different. And we couldn't come up with some overarching...
What they don't explain in the trailer, Sam,
Okay.
which is what they will explain in the movie, is that being divergent to the people that kind of control their government is considered dangerous because it makes them think that they're unstable.
Okay.
So to them, they're dangerous, and that's why you're supposed to hide it, and you're not supposed to tell anyone because it makes it look like that you're an unstable person, and then you get kicked out of your faction, and then you're factionless, which means you're essentially homeless and can't get a job and can't live your life, and it sucks. So that's what that is.
Oh my God. This universe makes so much sense when you think about it.
It totally does.
All right. So you are very excited to see.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love these books. I think they're really good, and I don't think you can judge the film based on the trailer, Sam.
No, probably not. But it is what we're here for.
Right.
And I think we've done a passable job of it.
Yeah.
Rather, you've done a passable job, and I've done
Thank
color
you.
commentary.
Yeah.
So until the next trailer drops for the next big movie, and maybe you can nominate one that's coming out that you'd be excited to see us talk about.
Yeah.
I'm Sam.
I'm Frasier.
See you next time.